Hi guys, previously we created and saved template for printing of passport photograph. Today we are going to be printing that passport photograph alongside with normal photograph in Adobe Photoshop. This is Twisted Creative. I like the man as my name. If it's your first time on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not only by hitting that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the next video. Without wasting much time, let's jump into it. This is the printer we are going to use. They call it Print Home. We are going to be using this to do the illustration. We are going to be printing this, and at the same time we will print this other photograph. We are not going to use any other application but Photoshop. If I want to print this passport, let me just assume I want to print this passport. Before you start printing, you must have brighten and do whatever color balance you want to do. So you have to click on File, then go down to Print. Then you see this dialog box open, and at the same time you can still use your Ctrl P. It's going to open up the same thing for you. Before you start printing, you have to go to your printer. If you click on this drop down, we don't have any printer here, so how are we going to print? You will not be able to print if you don't have the printer driver. So what we are going to do now, we're going to close this up and see how we can, let's cancel and see how we can install the printer driver on our system. So this is my printer driver. I have to install this printer driver on my system now, on this system that we are using. So if I double click now, I notice I have some files here. You can see auto run, you can see other things here. Let's click on auto run and right click and run as administrator. It's showing that some of this antivirus will not allow this thing. Just click next. If it refuses to install, that means you have to disable your antivirus before installing. So you click next. Press start to install Haiti P320 series driver. You see the driver I'm talking about. You have to install the driver so that you'll be able to print from your Photoshop. So you have to click start. So it's going to check the system. After checking the system, it's asking if you are going to be using Wi-Fi or USB for this system. Then we are going to be using USB, so we don't have to check on Wi-Fi now. Then we are going to be using USB. Then click next. Then the setup is almost completed, but we have to connect the printer to the system so as to finish installation. So this is where we put the USB end. So we have to put the USB here. We have to put the power here. The power has to be here. I have to connect this USB to the computer. After connecting, we have to put on the printer. Press and hold, the printer is on. So you can see we no longer have that stuff here. That means the installation is completed. Then after the installation is completed, you have to go to close this up or minimize. Then we have to see if we'll be able to print like this, or we are going to close down Photoshop and restart again. Now we can go to File and go to Print. Then on this printer setting, if you go to this drop down, you'll notice that we have Haiti P320W. So how can you know that that is your printer? Okay, let me say in a situation whereby you have multiple printers connected to your system, how can you detect? Because you are going to be seeing all those printers connected to your system. So for you to know the particular one you are using at a time, you have to know the name, Haiti P320W. So how can you find out? Just check around your printer. It's written somewhere around the name. In this case, we have it under 320W here. That is how you find out the printer and the model of the printer you are using. You have to select this Haiti P320W. Then once it's selected, it has detected that this is what you are going to be printing with. You can choose copy. You can add in any copy, any amount of copy you want here. Then let's leave it at 1. You can change the layout from portrait orientation to landscape orientation. You can see it's changing here. We have the portrait orientation, then we have the landscape orientation. For this case, we are having this passport on landscape orientation. So we are going to be leaving it on landscape orientation. You can go through other settings here. If you click on print setting, it's going to bring out this dialog box. It's almost the same thing we are having out there, but it's just that this one is a kind of self-explanatory compared to the other one. The other one looks more professional. So with this now, you'll be able to notice print setting. You can see we have paper type, then we have 4:6 as the size of the paper. Talking about landscape orientation is 6:4, then portrait is 4:6. Then we are using landscape. That is why landscape is checked here. It's from the printer, and we can enable it because it makes it more clear and more interesting. So enable matte. You can enable matte. It's a kind of something built in the printer that can press the paper to show matte effect on it. Then on the copy area, you can also can click up for more copies or click down for less copies, then hit OK. Color handling here, printer manage color is OK instead of Photoshop manage color. Then normal printing, rendering, you can leave it at perceptual, then and you go down and see position and size, you leave it at center, then you make sure this scale to fit media is checked. Then you can leave other things and click on print. So immediately you click on print, the printer is going to generate and start printing. This is the paper we are going to be using, the 4:6 paper or 6:4, 4:6, 6:4, whatever. Let's put it inside the printer. My printer is faulty, so I'm going to be holding it down until it prints. Hope you don't mind. We are going to click on print now, but I'm going to hold it down because it's a little bit faulty with the cover. Let me just click on print and hold it down. Please don't mind. It's printing. It's printing. You can print through Photoshop direct. You don't need any other app to print. You don't need any other app for your printing. You can print through Photoshop direct. It's printing. So as you can see, it's done. It's done. Look at it, 4:6, and you have the 8 copies of passport that was on the screen. So this is it. This is the passport photograph. So this is it. This is another plain sheet where you can put it inside the machine. Choose something else like this. Let's just print this and see how it's going to look. Though it's looking too bright anyway, but we can still print it. It is cropped at 4:6, so we can just go to, it's either we'll go to file and go to print or use our Control P to open this dialog box. Then we'll do the same thing. We'll make sure our printer is selected. Then the printer setting. Okay, for this printer setting, we are going to be doing portrait. As you can see, we have it on portrait already. Then we can enable this also. Then we need just one copy for the test. Then say OK. Then if you see go down, you have to make sure your printer manage color is set and perceptual. Then if you go to this, make sure you click to fit to media. Then you click on print. Don't mind, I'm still going to hold my printer. So we are going to click on print now and see how it's going to be. So I'm going to support the paper. It's printing. So this is Photoshop. You can print through Photoshop. You don't need any other app. beautiful. So this is it. This is it, and I'll say nice one, is a fine one, is okay. Let's see this. La la is beautiful. I think this is beautiful. You can print without any other app. You can use your Photoshop to print your photographs, your passport ID. You can print them from Photoshop direct. Look at it. It's nice. It's fine. Look at that. Yeah, this from Photoshop direct. You can print. So that is it. I believe that is it for today. If you find it interesting, helpful and useful, please hit the like button and also drop a comment below telling us where it has helped, the area it has not helped, and the area we need to improve on. Like I said earlier, if you are new on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not only by hitting that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the next video. Thanks for watching today's video. Creative people, keep on creating. Please stay creative. Keep creating. Bye for now. See you in the next video. Bye.